The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello, CJ, and I'm glad that you're back and you're all set to kick something or somebody.
Well, it's getting very interesting for sure. I'm not used to the way you guys had this entire system set up to handle it, but you know what? I can play with it.
Everything will go back to normal, well, I'm pretty sure.
I found some of the bugs, but it was very interesting coming to our viewers live from home. And what made it very interesting is that the feed from the house right now looks like this. So, you know, that kind of made it interesting. Yes, we can do remotes, and that's a great thing. But let's get right to some of the issues that are live in hopping in Fall River. A great debate started over the weekend in regards to the charter review. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm not going to rehash some old statements and whatnot, but I think that one of the things to make this charter review happen is for this committee to turn around and truly make it so that the voter understands what it is. You know, you ask a lot of people about what is the charter review, and they turn around and they say, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. Is that about charter schools? We need to, you know, and yeah, you laugh, Carlos, but you know, it's very true. We have to educate the voter.
Yes.
And you know, this whole process took 3 years just to get this question on the ballot. Mm-hmm. And I applaud the people that went out and attempted to get these signatures. As somebody had made the comment that this wasn't as glorious as the recall was mm-hmm. last year. But you know, you have to create in any war, in any campaign, a plan of attack. How do you start? How do you educate? Mm-hmm. How do you plan? How do you finish? You know, and you know, Benjamin Franklin said it well. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Mm-hmm. And that's a very clear, you know, message that's been sent from one of the founding fathers. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for us to realize that that message is very important for our political candidates for office, our people with ballot questions. Mm-hmm. All campaigns are war.
Yeah, okay. I mean, one thing it's a complete different from the other. The recall group was from the beginning a drive-in that grow fast, and a lot of people would fighting and trying to get something accomplished. The difference between the charter is the board still working to get the information out and to get people to support, because now they're going to need the votes at the election day. So it's a complete different thing, you know. So we cannot compare one with the other. The recall group did a good job trying getting all the signatures, because the timeline was, you know, was very short too. We have to put that in consideration. And the charter review was a smaller group that took a long time to grow. The group himself took a lot of time to grow compared with the recaller group that, everybody like you, the recaller group probably had like 10 people an hour just coming in, to the movement, compared to the charter review that they have like one person a day coming into the group, So it's a complete different. But both of them, I'm glad that they did it, and they are standing where they are standing today. So.
Yeah, and Carlos, I'm not trying to pick on the charter review people or anything, but in every campaign, whether you're running for mayor, city council, school committee, president, you have a group of people which do the bulk of the work. Okay? People said, like you had tons of people coming in and were supporting the recall. They supported the recall in their vote. There was 25 people who did the bulk of the work. And that was done according to a plan, a campaign plan, a war plan, which set it up from the beginning to the end. And as Benjamin Franklin said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Well, the plan was to succeed. And the success was had. Okay, you've got to read things like, Sun Tzu, who talks very clearly about
Sun Tzu.
You can hear him already.
Sounds like one of our co-hosts making an attempt at showing up.
An entry. It's an entry,
An entry into the world of fun and excitement, which will be nice to see him for sure.
And that's how things happen. I was counting to be in front of the board and end up over here because Mr. Star, they don't have the blue lights. That's the problem. You don't have the blue lights.
That's right. I don't have the blue lights or the red lights or any lights, and now I have to be stuck on that street. What genius decided to build 3 schools on one street, that's less than a mile long, is, wherever they got their degree in architecture, they should be shot, because this is absurd. They have to stop traffic. It took me 20 minutes to get from President Avenue to the first entrance of Bristol Community College, because they have to stop everybody to let the other students out. It's ridiculous. I sympathize with the people in this area, and I know they went before the city council about the rear entrance via Langley Street, and of course the city council didn't care. I don't even know how you can live on this street. You have to basically barricade yourself in your house between 9 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because you can't move up and down Ellsbury Street. It's ridiculous. I apologize for being late. I guess I have to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning now to be here on time for the show.
Hey, I get here between 9:30 and 9:35 in the morning just to avoid the traffic. Yep. You don't come at the hour, because if you show up on the hour, you are going to have traffic going all the way down to...
So I apologize. I don't know what you were talking about.
We were talking about planning. And when you plan a campaign, whether it be election or a ballot question, if you fail to plan, according to Benjamin Franklin, you plan to fail.
Or you have the other, how many P's? Poor planning promotes piss poor performance.
Exactly. Isn't that the motto of the Fall River?
Yeah. Well,
just look at Ellsbury Street, right?
That's right. Look at Ellsbury Street. Look at everything. Look at our government. Yeah. But I gotta.
Yeah.
Some...
I'm thinking something here that I'm not going to say it. Because, I was thinking.
Yeah. I should have planned. Yeah. I know. You don't have to say that.
Are you on a kind of a cleanup or something, picking up trash out there, or what's going on with you?
Look, silly me. I only figured a half an hour to get a mile. Shit. In my wildest imagination, I would have never planned to take 45 minutes to go 3/4 of a mile. But silly me. All right. So now I've learned my lesson. I put my hand on a stove, I burnt it, so now it's all right. I won't burn it again. But I have some complaints about the city. Saturday.
Not you.
Yeah, Mr. Negative. But I'm not being negative. I'm just stating a fact. Saturday, I finally got down to that chicken place on South Main Street, the new chicken place. And I have to say the chicken was pretty good. They've got like 53 or 55 different sauces to go on the chicken and stuff. It's a very difficult location. It's just past the intersection of Rodman and South Main, and Columbia and South Main. Rodman, Columbia, South Main. It's above that going toward TA's. Parking's very, very difficult. Yeah. It was nice, but I'll tell you what, I haven't walked in that area in years. I normally don't frequent that area. I will be truthful. There's nothing down there anymore, really. And I was appalled. It's disgusting. That is the filthiest. I spoke to CJ about this. We need to take a camera down there. I mean, they talk about the Central Business District attracting people to Fall River. It is absolutely deplorable down there. There has to be from the corner where the tuxedo place used to be around to that place. Mm-hmm. There has to be 100,000 cigarette butts. Every crack in the sidewalk is filled with cigarette butts. The gutters are littered with trash, cigarette butts. There was a barrel, city barrel there, filled to the top with trash all over the street. It's disgusting. I mean, I overdosed on nicotine just from the cigarette butts, and I don't smoke. So, but we want people to come to the city of Fall River. And if I was a tourist and parked my car near that corner and got out, I would have got right back into the car. I had to wash my sneakers. That's how dirty it was. I threw my sneakers in a washing machine. I mean, it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. And I know one thing, the corners in the North End don't look like that. And I don't know why that's allowed to continue in the Central Business District, well, lack of business district, we can call that. But I just had to say that. And if for all you viewers out there, if you're going down to that chicken place, come in via Morgan Street. Don't get on Rodman, because you'll end up with a lot of strange critters in your sneakers. So stuck in the tracks. So with that, I will segue into my next thing, which is the Fall River Housing Authority. The mayor is now going to go to all the high-rises and give out Coney Island hot dogs. He's having Coney Island Hot Dog Day. Well, you know something? Dave Sullivan and the Housing Authority, okay? You're a political hack. You're a political hack who I understand that you left your $65,000 a year rep job to come down and get a $165,000 job with the Housing Authority. But you know something? Fair is fair. When we had the recall, in spite of a United States Supreme Court decision that said we were allowed to go into any public housing complex, and that there was the individual resident who could make the choice whether to allow us to come in and secure a signature or not, you did everything in your power and you blocked us. And even though ultimately you said, well, you might be able to get in, but then you told all the residents if we were allowed in, it would be their responsibility if anything happened. You intimidated the people in those housing units. And I still have the letter that your attorney sent to us about not allowing us in. And I still have the Supreme Court decision. And frankly, you should allow every single candidate for office the same ability to have a Coney Island hot dog, chicken dinner, ham and beans, chow mein sandwich. I don't give a damn what you do. But the fact is, every single candidate should have the same rights, and every single group should have the same rights. But no, you're a political hack who got everything in his life because you're a political hack. And now you're greasing the wheels for the incumbent mayor who puts you and allows you to stay where you are. He didn't put you there, but the fact is that now, again, kissing political butt. And frankly, I'm tired of it. Because you know something? You pay your fees, you pay your taxes, you pay your money, and where does it go to? People like you. You're the guy that's going to get $120,000, $130,000 a year pension.
That the city's not paying.
That the city's not, yeah, that the city is paying, but it's not supposed to be. And but you know this, I'm tired of it. You got Joan Menard left her position, and she's like 175 years old, and she's still working. Now she's a consultant. She gave her daughter the job. Now I hear Tommy Norton has now gotten the job as the station, as some manager over there at cable, whatever the hell he was at. Now he was a rep. He's another guy that's like 138. Yeah, and these guys, they never get off the dole. I mean, how much money do we need to give these people? And it's like, people get angry, get pissed. I'm pissed. Why is Joe Macy making 92 grand for 18 and a half hours of work? I'm tired of these people. They keep telling us they need more of our money. What do they need more of our money to? To pay them. That's what they need more of our money for. Not to do anything constructive, not to improve the city, but to pay these political hacks. Shame on you. You love to impose burdens on a taxpayer, David. You're the only guy that was not in favor of demolishing Watuppa Heights, because you just love to bring in low-income families to further depress this city. So with that, I'll tell you, I rest my case. I'm never going to be happy that we were blocked from getting in there, and I just wish that I hit the Powerball and made $100 million, because I would take a couple of million of that and hire Neil Rossman to come down here and run a flashlight up your rectum. So.
I'm telling you, Chip, just tell us how you feel. But no, what I meant by that, Chip, where the city's not paying, because the city's not paying its contributions anyhow. So I mean,
that's right. No, yeah, yeah. No, but I mean, even though it's a pseudo federally funded whatever agency, it's one of those. It lives in that nebulous universe that they have out there. It's like alternate freaking universes we got here, and it's like, but they all managed to do something. They all managed to leave the state house or the city and weasel their way into a job that pays them double, triple, or quadruple what they were being paid as an official. I mean, what is Eddie Lambert's salary now? Over 200 grand, easily over 200 grand.
But this is why people are getting fed up, okay? Because you, like I, like Carlos, we don't get listened to, because instead of them listening to the message, they got to vilify the messenger, okay? Carlos's project, a very good project, was denied money from the CPA on questionable reasons. When Carlos started making a stink, now Carlos is on the outs with everybody because he's fighting for what he feels he should have got a part of. And their stand on it is, well, he's only fighting because he didn't get what he wants. And I love it when they use that. They use that with you, they use that with me, they use it with Carlos. Because we didn't get what we wanted, we're upset about it.
And you're right, and even if what you wanted is the right thing,
exactly.
They don't care about that.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if what you wanted was the right thing to do. And you're right, because look, this is what happens to these people. General Douglas MacArthur once said, old soldiers never die, they just fade away. Well, old politicians never die. They just keep sucking the money out of the taxpayers.
Well, you know what the definition of politics is, right? Many bloodsuckers.
That's right.
I mean, that's what it is.
But we have more to come. And one thing that really lately has been bothering me, and I've been having people talking to me, is the fact that now we need to borrow another $3.5 million to fix a school that has the same problems that my project school has, and it's going to cost me less than $500,000 to do the same thing that needs to be done to be updated. But it's going to cost the city $3.5 million. I mean, it's going to cost us $3.5 million for the same job.
Well,
Cushion.
Yeah, plus, Carlos, remember.
I need to fund one of those.
Yeah, because Carlos, remember, you don't have a clerk of the works who's a friend of yours who needs a job, and you have 20. And it's amazing. I was looking over that budget for that. It's amazing how everything's 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. I'm like, did they just rubber stamp this? I mean, because everything has equal amounts of money, and it's all for potential overruns and licensing, and it's, in other words, I'm going to Paul Schmidt's farm because I can shovel it there just as good as they shovel it here.
and even when you go through the contracts and the kind of jobs that need to be done, like a sprinkler system, it's going to cost me $76,000. If you look at their contract, it's going to cost like almost $400,000.
Right.
It's like $300,000 some dollars.
Caesar,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Carlos, please. You're doing it like a person.
I'm not there to make money.
That's right. You go out and you secure some bids, and you look at people, and people want to make money. These companies want to make money, so they're going to try to be competitive and give you that's not the way government works. You got to realize that first they have to spend a couple of $1 million on a study to see if the roof that's leaking actually needs repair, or should they just let it leak for the next 100 years. So, and after that, they have to buy everything from people who inflate the price at least 10 times, and they have to take at least 10 years longer than everybody else. And when they're done, it doesn't last anywhere near what you would get it for, because that's what's wrong with government. Everything they do is about making money for their friends, cushions, draining more money from the taxpayers, and they come up with these ridiculous scenarios. $3.5 million. Well, bulldoze the thing and build another building, for crying out loud, for $3.5 million. It's ridiculous. We see it every day in government. All we ever see is BS piled upon BS. And I got my Sam Sutter promo in the mail today. It says, Sam Sutter announces his transition team to begin the process of opening the city's books. Well, guess what? He doesn't even listen to his transition team because Alan Silver told him to pay the retirement on time. And they tried not to. So, there goes number one down the toilet. That was crap, because opening the city's books, who cares? Why do we need to open up the city's books? We can all figure out how much money we got. Just look at the book. Just say, look, what does the budget say? But we don't look at how we're wasting the money, though. See, that's the key. The transition team doesn't look into how much money we're wasting. They're looking at how much money we got so they can get more. They're not looking at how to save money. They're looking at how to spend it. Then we have volunteers
Before
joining.
you move from there, he did listen to one person, and the result was he closed down the South Main
Senior Center.
Yeah,
but then he reopened
and now it's going to cost us more money to reopen.
Now because he's losing in all the polls, he's going to open it up again. And it says volunteers joined Mayor Sam Sutter as part of the citywide cleanup. Well, they're cleaning up an area that had already been cleaned up by Angels Anonymous or something, or some other group prior to. So I think they stuffed those bags with foam or something because there wasn't much to clean up. And then he goes on to say, what a great honor it's been, and how they put together a balanced and sustainable budget. The budget maintained fire, police, and community. Then he talks about a SAFER grant. Didn't we say that we weren't going to try to run the city on grants anymore? Didn't actually he say that when he was campaigning? that we can't run a city on grants anymore. And as far as a sustainable budget, what kind of budget do you have when you can't pay your retirement debt on time? I mean, obviously, when your treasurer goes before the retirement board and says, we're having a cash flow problem, that's political speak for, we don't have any money to pay you.
And remember.
So is the budget really sustainable?
Of course it is.
The same treasurer, by the way, that reflected in the budget that 146,000 plus was city money when in fact it was employee money. So really, Sam? Come on.
Hey, and remember, Chip, it was a choice between paying the retirement or paying salaries. So the retirees got the shaft from the administration again. Not like they're not used to that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's like I said, it's time. We've got our debate this Wednesday. And the time is upon us to change what's going on here. When you look around and you look at the phenomenal waste that our government has, and I thought the feds were bad. Fall River's getting better than the feds at wasting money. I mean, I'm telling you, the feds are bad, but Fall River's we're a close second. I mean, people, let's get outraged. Maybe because I got stuck in traffic, I got a little road rage today, but the fact is that, you got to be angry with this stuff. I mean, look at it. You got a guy making 92 grand for 18 and a half hours when that's almost 4 times what the average person in Fall River makes for salary for the year. And he's making it for 18 and a half hours. You got another guy making 70,000. And what gets me is the absolute duplicitness. You know what I mean? He's being duplicitous. That ness on the end is too tough, but when he said that, they're working cheaper, he reduced the salary, reduced my foot. That's how much they can make without affecting their pension. Believe me, if he could have given Macy 120 grand, he would have, but it would have affected his pension. And those guys, he failed to mention that they were only working 18 and a half hours, and he failed to mention that the reason they got those salaries was to not affect the pensions they were getting, the very big pensions they were getting. So stop lying, tell the truth. People, stay angry. Take it over.
And remember, if you compare the hourly rate to these individuals compared to their predecessors, the hourly rate is higher. So the appearance, and perception becomes reality. But the reality is that we're spending more money on those departments.
But that's our fault not to read the small print.
Yes, that's what it is, But we got one of those contracts, we got to read the small print. But, as Chip mentioned, we do have the debate coming up Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, Custer Middle School. We will begin broadcasting live promptly at 6. If you're going to come down to the Custer Middle School to watch it live in the auditorium, please remember to come down early to find a parking space, and the easiest entrance will be behind the building. There'll be no signs, paraphernalia, pins inside the building. We are not going to allow that. So please remember, and if you have to be removed because you're going to be disruptive, sadly enough, we will have to do that. We want this to be a respectful debate as we've done in the past, and we want you, the voter, to be informed.
And just as a quick aside, I just did some quick math on my little calculator here. Our former corporation counsel is getting $57 an hour based on salary and hours put in, and Mr. Macy is making about $98 an hour.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and
Thank you.
please have a great day. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye, Dave.